Just a wrestling fan. I'm Andrew Cully. I'm going to be giving you my opinion from a fan point of view on today's wrestling, what's going on in the WWE, AEW. Might do some Impact stuff. I have been watching Impact. For those of you, because I've seen other reviews, because I watch a lot of reviewers, and some of them say that they don't do Impact because they don't get the Pursuit channel. But just to remind you, Impact is a great product. I know it has a bad reputation from what happened in the past, but to me, the product is way better than what the WWE is putting out right now. You can, if you don't get Pursuit channel, you can always stream it on Twitch. It airs the same time as it does on the Pursuit channel, Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, if I'm correct. The only thing is, it's the quality is better on the phone. It's 720p. I'm guessing on the low end. It does look better on the phone, but watching it on a big screen, it doesn't take away from it. It has great action. So I'm gonna get started on Raw on Monday, June 17th. Now the show opened. The show opened with Elias cutting a promo where he revealed he is the special guest referee in the Baron Corbin versus Seth Rollins match at Stomping Grounds. Now, if you're wondering, I'm looking down, I'm reading my notes. It's hard to remember all this stuff, all this ridiculousness that's happening on Raw and SmackDown. So I had to write, what I just want to say so I wouldn't swear, so I would have, I know, so I wouldn't cuss. Rollins attacked Elias with a chair from behind and declared that anyone that accepts or is even considering being the special guest referee for Corbin will suffer the same fate as Elias. And so began a night of promos. Now I'm wondering, is it World Wrestling Entertainment or is it or is it World Promo Entertainment? It's not as bad because we got our first match 11 minutes into the show, so it wasn't as bad as the previous weeks, I would say, but it's still bad. So let me get started. A fatal 5-way match to determine. So our first match is a fatal 5-way match to determine the number one contender for Samoa Joe's U.S. title. We got Miz, Bobby Lashley, Cesaro, Ricochet, and Braun Strowman. Where the excuse me, where the contenders were the contenders. Elias still laying in the ring. Each man did his spot on him upon entering the ring. Wasn't a good night for Elias, I tell you that much. Wasn't a good night for him. Strowman eliminated Cesaro, then Lashley. Not happy, Cesaro and Lashley attacked Strowman, allowing Ricochet to hit the 630, pinning Braun to eliminate him. An angry Braun Strowman threw Ricochet over the top rope onto a waiting Lashley on the outside. Now that was actually great. That was some great work right there. He just threw him like he was a piece of furniture or something. And I got to say that match was actually great. I actually enjoyed that match. I was like, at the beginning, I'm like, okay, they're turning the table around. They're starting to do something great here. Maybe AEW, is getting to them, selling out All Out in 15 minutes and everything. Congratulations to them. But it just got worse from there. It just got worse after this match. Now, where was I? The final two men, Miz and Ricochet, had a great one-on-one match, which Ricochet won via the 630. The match lasted 15 minutes. Then here comes the promos. Becky Lynch cuts a promo on Lacey Evans. Best in the World Shane backstage VIP party. Now this is what we get for the next until oh my lord this backstage interview with Corbin. He got attacked by Rollins during his interview. Daniel Bryan with Ronan cuts promo on the ramp. The second match of the night, the Viking Raiders. That's a sucky name. I like them better in ROH as War Machine. Even the War Raiders was a better name than this Viking Raiders and before Viking Experience. Makes no sense. Versus Rusky and Randy Taylor. This match lasted only 34 seconds. Then we had more of this 24/7 title chasing around this. This was just ridiculous. Then we got more Shane backstage VIP party where Drew attacked Heath Slater because he asked Shane for a raise in his pay. In the first hour of Raw, they had only 16 minutes of actual wrestling. 16 minutes of actual wrestling. This is a wrestling company that does more promos and backstage shenanigans than actual wrestling. Where is the wrestling? That's why I watch wrestling, so I can watch wrestling. I mean, I watched Impact last Friday. What was that? The 14th. In the first, we had about 4 matches in the first hour, and they did promos in between, and there wasn't any commercial breaks in between the matches. Each match, the only match I can say that had a commercial break was the main event because that was a long and a very awesome match. Okay, a very awesome match. Okay, like for Impact, I'm gonna list some of the matches that we had in the first hour. We had the North versus Sabu and RVD. All right, that was the first match. The second match of the night was Havoc, accompanied by Father James Mitchell and Sue Young, versus I don't know her name. The name went by quick, and being that I'm watching on Twitch, I wasn't able to rewind or whatever and get the name. As a girl I've never seen before, so I can't mention the name. That was an awesome match. Havoc won the match. She did some kind of weird rock bottom looking move. Then she did a choke slam and then the tombstone. Very awesome match. Then we got the Desi Hit Squad versus the Deaners. Also a good match. Also a good match. Even though it didn't have a it did had a controversial ending. It was actually good. Then the third match was not really a match. That's the only thing about Impact that I'm not liking right now. That they're doing flashbacks. They're showing a flashback match, but you got 3 matches in 1 hour. If you minus the flashback match, I don't know why they choose to do a flashback match every episode when they have Impact Plus, where you can watch that there, and they also on their Twitch page you can also stream. You can also get the past episodes from back when it started, when they had the NWA belt and stuff like that. So that didn't really make any kind of sense to me. But let me get back to Raw. Okay, now this is the second hour right here. AJ Styles cut backstage promo with Gallows and Carl Anderson. Now those two were awesome in Japan. WWE, I guess they don't know how to use them. I think they did this part where AJ is telling them about the Usos and who's the best tag team and that they need to step up their game and stuff like that. Okay. The next Then let me see if I'm correct. Okay, so let me. I forgot. I'm sorry, I forgot where I was. Because at this, um, basically, I'm looking at my notes and I, because I was writing during the episode, and at this, from what I put at this point, I was just frustrated. Just the first hour alone frustrated me. The uh, next we had the Sammy and Kevin show with guest Baron Corbin. Corbin announced his pick for the special referee at Stomping Grounds, EC3, who was then attacked by Rollins from behind with a chair and repeatedly beaten with it. Okay, poor EC3 had a great run in Impact. Had I think his I didn't see his in I didn't get the chance to see his NXT. I don't have the WWE network. I already got Netflix and Amazon and all that. I don't need anything extra. Um, then the New Day cut a promo on the ramp. We then got our first match of the second hour of Raw at at 1 hour 15 minutes in. The New Day the match was the New Day versus versus Kevin, Sammy, and Corbin. The New Day won after Sammy and Kevin abandoned Corbin because he inadvertently clotheslined Sammy, and which led to Kevin and Corbin having a shove match with and Kevin super kicked Corbin, and him and Sammy left the ring and watched the rest of the match from the ramp. Kofi hit the trouble in Paradise. I know I said his name wrong. It's Kofi. Hit the trouble in Paradise. This match lasted 12 minutes. Alexa Bliss backstage promo. Paul Heyman in ring promo. EY, that's his name. We called him in Impact. Eric Young beaten up backstage by Rollins. Usos backstage promo. Gallows and Carl Anderson versus the Usos. Usos won with the double super kick. Match was 2 minutes 41 seconds long. Second hour only had 15 minutes, almost 15 minutes of wrestling. Almost 15 minutes of wrestling on a so that's about 30 minutes of wrestling in 2 hours. 30 minutes of wrestling in 2 hours. Reigns cut an in-ring promo on Shane. Shane talked about Reigns' family. Reigns beat up Drew and Shane backstage, and also the revival. Honestly, at this point, I actually dozed off and woke up during the main event. I was emotionally frustrated. I don't know what direction WWE is going in anymore. I was never a big WWE fan to begin with. I started wrestling when I don't remember how old I was, but WCW was the show I watched, and I was on and out of wrestling. Then I watched wrestling when Kurt Angle was there in WWE, and then when he left and went to Impact, that's when that's when I started watching again. When he left and came back to WWE, that was when I came back to WWE, and when I didn't like what I was seeing there, I just stopped watching. And recently I started watching again, and it's like nothing has changed. But I'll try to do more in-depth reviews, or try to watch all the shows and give you my opinions from the fan point of view. That's it for this video.